So now we're just going to continue on with the routing. Last thing I showed before I cut video. So right here, a neat little thing you can do is ensure you have a bow, some fire arrows, go. Because those birds will kind of fly out and just drop these bombs on you, and they hit pretty hard, so just want to get ahead of the game before this happens. What this is, if you die at any point, you will have to redo all that, so hopefully you went around the world, collected some stuff, and then you would know how to make fire arrows. Just try not to die too many times, because you will run out eventually, which would be insane. Down here is a little bit of a secret. So you actually kind of just want to walk off the platform. Kind of hug the wall tight. Walk over here. Don't fall yet. Right there. And grab the marred wooden shield. So it's another shield that causes blood loss if you use it as a weapon. Wooden shield, Stormville soldiers, much like the castle, is marred by molten and thorns. Some say it's cursed of grafting, which causes such affliction, while others talk of its roots being something altogether more sinister, hidden deep within the castle. Very cool stuff right there. So yes, now you can look like a full exile knight. If we got all the gear, which they drop them pretty easily. Yeah, we already got all the exile gear. So if you want to look like one of these dudes, their armor isn't too bad, especially if you're going for a lighter build. But we're going to still stay looking our little fluted knight type deal here. My Dark Souls 1 or Demon Soul boys, you know, and girls. So this is the secret here. You're going to dive bomb off the edge. Floor will collapse, and then you are going to fall. I'm going to go ahead and cut this guy off real quick. Okay. Storm Assault. It's a really nice Ash of War for our spear users. This guy right here, I'm going to show a little trick on him so we don't have to fight this guy like in straight up combat. Want to kind of guide him around. Make sure you watch him. Oh, yeah, I got caught. And they absolutely love when you use potions because they speed up their progress on you. So yeah, that's a really cheap and easy way to kill that Crucible Knight if you struggle with those dudes. Make sure we're safe before I do all this. Okay. So Storm Assault. Storm Assault, one of the skills that channel the Tempest Storm Veil. Leap forward through surrounding storm winds and thrust armament downward. The attack will produce more storm winds at the point of impact. So last video we saw one of those banished knights do this move, and I got like kind of clipped by the damage from the storm itself, and that's exactly what it's talking about. So usable on pole arms, capable of thrusting, heavy thrusting swords, and twin blades. So really, really popular use among like those weapons, obviously, but the very heavy, chunky, heavy thrusting swords, this thing is amazing. Even on your halberd and stuff like that, which is primarily what its use is for. Aspects of the Crucible Horns. So one of the ancient Urchi incantations creates a mighty horn on the caster's shoulder to gore foes from low stance. Charging allows the caster to barrel into foes, delivering the final attack. This is a manifestation of the Urchi's primal vital energies, an aspect of Primordial Crucible where all life was once blended together. So do not sleep on the Crucible incantations. Those are actually really good spells. And pretty much the horn is, you know, it's just a charging horn, so You'll launch smaller enemies into the air, leaving them vulnerable. It's really good when an enemy's down in a riposte state, and then you just kind of use that, chunk a huge amount of damage. Only drawback, though, is that it's a heavy faith. So just like the tail, we go from there. Okay. But other than that, just fight him in straight-up combat. Watch out for edge rolling and stuff like that, otherwise he will knock you off the cliff. Oh, thank you, friend. Oh. One person didn't like it. It's okay. That one person probably hasn't even beaten Margit yet, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, and then with that, after you deal with the Crucible Knight, that is really it for the secret down here. A very easily missed type of thing. Obviously, you wouldn't know this without probably reading the messages or having a companion travel around Stormveil with you who knows the secrets as well. High ground, scout your battlefield. You see that we have a torch guy along with a banished knight kind of patrolling the high walls there. We've already seen that area down there. We want to go ahead and take out our telescope. Kind of ID what we're doing here. We got a mess of shit down there. You can see it's a huge battleground. A lot of items. More paths to travel, staircase. Be like, alright. Honestly, I'll put this right here because I don't normally do this, but since we're playing like this. Should be item.
Nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed. I'm looking for a little something here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormveil Castle? This place is bristling with tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind. I see. Here to challenge Godric and lay your hands upon a great rune, are you? You can see it then, I take it. The guidance of grace. Well, enjoy it while you can. I'm tarnished, like you. But unlike you, I've seen neither hide nor hair of this guidance for the longest time. Still, I won't forget how it felt when I first came here, to the lands between. I'm privy to a few magical battle arts. Would you care to learn one? As a fellow Tarnished, once guided by grace, I'd love to help you out, if it please.
Indeed. So he has some pretty cool Ash of Wars. I would probably consider a spinning weapon is really cool. More than though, it's the spinning weapon is for taking down those annoying beetles that kind of run around and you have to figure out where they're at. Just so you have like a little bit of a continuous attack so we don't have to sit there and hope we hit them. I will buy that. Carrion Greatsword. Carrion Greatsword, Carrion Royal, Prestige embodied in the skill, transform blade into a magical greatsword and swing it down. Can be charged to increase its power. So you pretty much generate a large magic sword from your sword. Very, very nifty, especially for mages and stuff like that. So if you want to dabble a little bit into magic, this is it right here. Glintstone Pebble. Definitely don't sleep on this. This is very good. And the cool thing about Ashes of War is that they don't require any stats in order to invest in it. You just put it on a weapon that is capable of using it, and you're able to use that skill as long as you have the FP required for it. Glintstone Pebble, skill that employs the Glintstone sorcery of the same name. Follow up with a strong attack to chain the skill into a lunging thrust. Perform while the armament is still imbued with Glintstone. So there's a lot of these cool little things you might want to read about to see like how to get the most out of these Ashes of War. I am going to buy them all because I really do like the spells.
The battle art you've learned is of the Glintstone family. They were conceived at the Great Academy of Rea Lucaria, to the north of this castle. In the past, they obeyed laws which contravened the Golden Order, or so I'm told. Fascinating, isn't it? That the Golden Order was pliable enough to absorb practices that contradicted itself in the past. With the Order broken, twisted, and in need of repair, such adaptability is more important now than ever. Oh, keen to learn.
We will see Rogier again. Obviously, we met him for the first time when we fought Margit. You summoned him, and he kind of, he just showed us stuff out there. Survived the battle with us, everything. That was really nice. So now we got some magical sorcery stuff to imbue in our weapons now. If you can help it, you want to get the backstab on the knight. And then we can deal with his torch wielding buddy. Let's come up. That was pretty bad because he was catching me on every single swing, so I was getting like stun locked by him. But thankfully my armor and my stuff is strong enough to take those hits. Okay. Familiarity should be the name of the game at this point. We are going to see a lot of this area. Go ahead and now take on the battlefield. We're going to run down here. We're going to take on some rats. Rats have a chance of dropping a very important item in the game called the Rune Arc, something that I've been carrying on me this entire time. It's just extremely rare, much like how they dropped humanity back in Dark Souls 1. But they do have a very low chance, about I think like a 1% chance at dropping Rune Arcs every now and again. So if you're not invested in multiplayer and you're not going to invade or help other people, this will be your only source of Rune Arcs other than natural chest or items found in the open world and dungeons. Just so you know. Godslayer seal. Said to represent the manipulation of black flame, this catalyst enhances Godslayer incantations. Okay. Godskin prayer book. So they added 2 items that are hand in hand. So this will boost Godslayer incantations, much like the Beast Claw will, or the Beast Claw seal, whatever it is, will do the same for Bestial incantations. The Godskin prayer book will give us Black Flame and Black Flame Blade. So more faith things that you can use. Pretty cool type of damage, I guess. The Black Flame will eat at HP while it's been inflicted, so it's kind of like a mini poison, if you will. But if you want to use it in tandem, you'll need the Godslayer. This will just increase the potency of that type of stuff. And prayer books, unlike scrolls, will be given to Brother... I know his name is Cohen Corn or whatever. I call him Brother Corn. So you give him the prayer books as you find them. But again, I will strongly advise against that because we are going to find an NPC that will last the entire game, and we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff when it comes to prayer books and scrolls. Okay, you recognize this place? Crossbow Central, along with the little ballistas all over the place. So this was just another way to get out here, but we approached it from the down area. So all this area really was just you use the stone sword key, which I don't even remember using it on that. It looked like it was already in there, so that was really weird. But if I did, it's because I was getting just beat down by rats. But yeah, normally you would put one in here, and then this gate would open up, allowing you access into here so you can get those 2 items. And now we take on the little battle here. So it's more about trying to get your one-on-ones as much as you can. You're gonna have dudes with crossbows. I don't think I got hit. Just kind of come in here and be as aggressive as you can be. Nothing really bad about that fight, right? Got a whole bunch of explosive barrels too, so if you want to, you can kind of guide them around, kite them in situations, take out your bow if you're really fast and shoot them, and you can just get, multiple kills in one shot. But these dudes aren't really much to fret about. I love when I do that. Yep. So some free fire arrows, because they're trying to tell you, use these, use these. Right up here. Over here. Wooden great shield. Wooden Great Shield reinforced with metal or in ornamentation. Great Shields boast high damage negation and guard capacity, making it easy to repel. So basically, it's just saying like it's got higher guard boost, so you take less. You know, it's classified as a Great Shield. It's not really that great because it doesn't block full damage. So up to you if you want to use it, but it is light. I mean, 8 compared to probably like the 12 or 13s from it. And then we got the Pike, specialized for use from long distances. It boasts the longest reach of any melee weapon, incredibly useful even against foes on horseback, but hard to wield in cramped spaces. Yes, indeed. So another one of those lengthy weapons. Like it said, it is. It's actually like a strength weapon, even though it's a spear. But definitely the longest reach, for sure. So you can keep enemies at bay. Learn how to use it. You can kind of shield poke. But yeah, really good for long hallways and stuff like that, open fields. But if you get in like a cramped situation, you're going to be bouncing off at everything. Okay. Then we kind of want to take out the doggo. I don't even know where he was hanging out. That's kind of... came out of nowhere. And before engaging with that guy, you might want to come up here, grab some help if you need so. Go over here. Grab the site of grace. Our door is locked. We haven't discovered the shortcut. Kind of iffy on that one because I don't know what happened. I don't think we were supposed to be able to know about that just yet. So that was really weird. My brain's telling me no, but I'll take it. God, people are praising me. Yay. Had a good time too because I really need help with this guy. So even though he's big and lunky, he won't help us destroy that statue over there. We actually need another enemy to do that. I'm in here for another painting, so we've already seen what they do before. Work of a wandering artist, reminiscence of a painting titled Prophecy. This painter is said to have captured the landscape scene during the last moments of those who welcomed him to death's embrace. The soul of the painter and vestiges of the dead's last moments can now be discovered by visiting location depicted even now. Alright. It's a very little vague picture, but I believe we've already found that location, so If my memory served correctly, we will head over there once we are able to. Continuing down that path is where you need to go, but we're going to take these little side routes. Be prepared for a fall. I think this one actually kills you. Or gets really close to doing it. Because I think applying soft cotton doesn't even do anything here for you, so... Temporarily reduces fall damage / sound and footsteps. Try it. Oh, it does work. Okay. I was kind of little iffy on it though, just never know. Sometimes, though, it doesn't work, and you do take, like, max damage, so just be careful. Possibly kill you, too. We'll get up to the other side, but this was just another way down. Be careful here. This is a rat ambush. You can hear the twinkling, so you want to make this guy roll in here. Our bird friend fell all the way from the top down to here. Sorcery of the Servants of Death. Summons vengeful spirits that chase down foes, charging enhances potency. Once thought lost, this ancient death hex was rediscovered by Necromancer Garrus. So rank or call. Pretty much you summon a bunch of different like little spirit heads and they just go chase down enemies and they take damage. I'm not sure if it builds up Death Blight or not. I've never dabbled into any of the death spells because they're just not that great from what I got in use of. And maybe I was just building it wrong, so I don't know. But don't knock anything until you try it because some of these things can be very good. Okay. 4 potions should be enough to do this. You want fire. Hear the rumbling of the ground, just put your shield up. And we got a nice little secret boss here. Taking stupid damage right now. Want to back away from that. So he backed me up pretty bad. So pretty tough random fight that just kind of hidden down here. Obviously bigger boss, so you're stuck in a small arena. You do have the option of running away from him though, if you're not willing to take that thing on. But those are called ulcerated tree spirits. They'll actually have like a name for it later on as an actual boss. But for now they treated it as kind of like a sub-mini thing, just like the grafted scion above. And you get a golden seed. So every time you defeat those suckers, you get golden seeds. Prince of Death's pustule. A fetid pustule taken from facial flesh. Oof. Raises vitality. Vitality governs resistance to the effects of death. It is said that the pustule came from the vestige of the Prince of Death, he who used to be called Godwyn. As first dead of the demigods, it's said he's buried deep under the capital at the Erd roots. Erd tree roots. My god, Erd roots. Yes, so this thing looks like a face, right? Pretty wild. A lot of good lore about this kind of crap right here, so really study up on it, but that was a talisman that you can equip just to raise your vitality. So like a whole 100 points almost. Unfortunately, we haven't found anything that does death though, so not useful just yet. Then take the longest set of ladder in all of Elden Ring. I think this one's definitely longer than the poison pool for the backside of Bloodborne and Yosefka's clinic. Just don't press B or circle when you're on this, when you're not moving, otherwise you'll just back jump right off the ladder and die. There you go. So we round robined all the way back through where we were originally at. Now for the tricky part. Gotta deal with the bird. Telling you, once you let kind of catty corner up here though and take out this guy. Grab me some more smithing stones. Now we're a bit timely about this. There we go. Go ahead and take that dude out. Come down here for an NPC.
You are a fine warrior. Your only mistake was your choice of master. Let the winds lift you to a higher place. Well, who do we have here? Tarnished, are you? Clearly not one of Godric's lot. I am the Felly Lou. Tarnished and warrior, like you. I'm here by decree of my father. How utterly repellent this is. This grafting of Godric's ill befits a lord. He's tainted the very winds. If you intend to challenge Godric, I ask you call upon me. The winds run foul with his deeds. I'm certain Father would permit me aid the fight. Apologies, but I've idled long enough. As fellow Tarnished, we must each follow our own guidance. Down whatever road takes us to the throne of Elden Lord. Apologies, as fellow down whatever...
Okay. Do not fight her. Do not kill her. Very important quest line. That involves Kenneth Height. Okay. Free golden seed there. Run down here for an item. Alright, now what we want to do is piss off the giant, and then this is kind of a tricky part, so... There we go. What you want to do is get him to follow you all the way through here. Make sure you block that roar attack. He can do some pretty nasty damage. Sometimes he stalls out like that, so you gotta watch him. There we go. Now it's just a giant fight. I should have taken damage right there. That was weird. Definitely didn't iframe it. But we'll take it. Okay. So you just, I mean, it's not a lot, but I mean, free 5 smithing stone 1s and then a free smithing stone 2, which you probably are requiring right now. Just, you know, guide them around here. Not the easiest thing to do, so you won't be blamed if you can't do it. A lot of the time he likes to get stuck in this area, and then he'll just kind of hurl breath attacks at you. And that's where it gets really annoying. And we got the 2 soldiers here. Alright, stepping through that door will be our first pretty much demigod battle. Main story quest battle, I should say. No, Margit is the first one, but this is like the true first, like, important boss, I guess. Make sure you touch this grace. Come over here. And you want to cut this beetle off as quickly as you can. There we go. He'll roll you into an ambush, basically. Change our weapon. Stormcaller. So, one of the skills that channel the Tempest Stormveil, spin armament to create surrounding storm winds. Repeated inputs allow for up to 2 follow-up attacks. So what you've been seeing is like the dudes kind of whirling their swords and whirling their spears around, creating storms around them. That's exactly what that does. Very nifty. And then the guy back at the shack, he has the ability to show you how to call like those storm wind things that you've seen the guys throw at us every now and again. So if you want like the full storm setup, then that's where you go to go get it. All of Stormvale, and then that guy, he has a little bit more. Then here, the pots are evil. They are weak to strike. Oh shit. Keep flying. Get some free pots. Come over here and jump. 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 Really up to you if you want to take this guy on. They're just here to be here. I would just grab that though. I would take him on, but I don't want to risk a bird and a guy attacking me at the same time with no ways to heal right now, because that's dumb. Here, you could break all this. A huge horde of smithing stones right there. And if you want to check the bottom, you can. But we already seen what's over here. This is just a... this should have been the shortcut right here to go down to that little door or whatever. But the grace is down there. Just keep chugging along. St. Fina Lily. Some items. Watch out for this place. These dudes are kind of annoying. My Lord and Savior, the Manor Tower Shield. An iron great shield large enough to cover the entire body depicts the round table hold, gathering place of champions. Great shields boast high damage negation, blah, 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 blah. We read that before. Oh, I took this thing all the way to endgame with me. I was using the golden gilded shield for the most part, though, but I had to use rune arcs and a certain rune to use that stuff. But that Manor Shield was Oh boy, it was so good. See, the guard boost is up to 67. This is 61. So, yeah, like I said, this is pretty outstanding as well. Surely what you seek is somewhere close by. Yeah. So that is Homeboy leaving a message. That'll be the second Smithing Stone 3 that you found unless you went into another area of the game. So now we can make our weapon a +7. Go ahead and just ride the wave on this way. Now look, observe, safe drop, drop again, drop one more time. Just make sure you watch this. Don't fall off the edge. Just make sure you take this. Look at that. You just want a good run, leap, leap. And you will see that it has led us back to where we fought the ulcerated tree spirit and got all that stuff down there. So for the most part, Stormvale is now complete as far as exploration is concerned. Two things we want to do before we continue on to the boss, though, is go back. I guess, yeah, we'll just count them out. So we want to go here. Travel on the backside. Yes. Warhawk Ashes. Spirit of Stormvale Warhawk, the talons of which have been sliced off so the razor-fine swords could be grafted in their place with its lord vanquished and its wings wounded. The hawk perished as it solemnly gazed as its former home. The storm is a Warhawk's cradle. So if you like that thing and it was like really bothering you, it will really bother other opponents. Only downside of the birds is that they are very weak. No poise for shit, so if they get slapped pretty hard, they'll fall to the ground and get murdered pretty easily. But the fire and the little slashing things is really good on that. And we found this because of the picture. So, probably not the greatest looking thing to kind of match up. Like, how would you even be able to tell? But yeah, that's pretty much how that works. Now we can get rid of this. Okay, now we want to go back to the Lost Table of Grace. Remember to give him the book if you want to learn new spells. He won't do anything for you. The Alice is here still. This guy won't have anything to say.
We've spoken.
Pretty much say you progress the game. You can level up your spirit summon here if you want to now. So whatever spirit summon you think about taking into that battle with you, I would start thinking about leveling up because you don't want it to get murdered very quickly and then you're left spiritless, which would suck. But I don't really need the spirit. Seeing that we're going to have a NPC companion in that fight, that kind of doubles down there. What I do want, though, is a stronger weapon. So
I'll take you no matter. Lay out your own.
we're going to strengthen our sword even higher. And our mace. We'll leave the bow out still. Still want to go find me a better bow. Longbow is about as original as it gets. And then for the ash, we can start transforming this thing up a little bit. So we were going to fight a demigod, and pretty much all of the like story bosses are all resistant to holy damage, like very resistant. So Sacred Blade is not going to be the greatest of things when we're trying to use an Ash of War. High recommendation here is going to be like bleed, because dude is really weak to bleed. And you can see, look at the quality, right? Quality build is now pushing us up to a C rating in our weapon as opposed to standard. So it's very nice to see quality in here. Even though that the main the base stat's going to lower, we're getting added damage for our attribute scaling. So it's actually stronger. Even though it goes from standard 161 plus 41, then we have 134 plus 61. So we're getting higher damage output because of our attribute scaling off of quality. That, or you can use like if you want some range to this guy, Glintstone Pebble is really great, honestly. So what this means is that the Glintstone itself is costing you about 4 FP, and then the follow-up is costing you 8. Or it could be the FP is costing you 8 per shot, and then you do the follow-up attack as 4. So it's kind of difficult to read a little bit, and I don't think the explanation really... Yeah, it doesn't really tell you how that works out. So you can range him down and still maintain a quality blade, so it won't become anything. If you want to turn it into a magic blade, though, just because that's what it is, then you'll get split damage. Split damage in the Souls past has never been that great. A lot of people shy away from it. The Greatsword, dude's got a lot of fast attacks, so it's if you're good at reading the movesets and everything, then you can get like one good slice in. Pretty much up to you though, how you want to do this. I would suggest distance if you can manage it, or just straight up bleed. Dude's really weak to bleed. But the Ash of War on this one, it uses your own HP, so really, honestly, you just kind of want to, leave it alone. And then the caveat to doing this is that you won't be able to apply, like, your fire, magic grease, and all that stuff once you kind of put these affinities on here. Only these normal ones. So, let's see. I think I want to range him down. Yeah, we'll do this one. So now we transformed it into a quality blade. The mace. We can maintain wild strikes, but then keep it at a quality mace. Yeah, I think that would be best. So it looks like it's weaker, but the quality is all attribute scaling. That's where you get your most damage output from. So as long as you're leveling equally, you won't ever have a problem. Okay, so we got the pebble now. Got our mace. We can put an ashlar. Now we need 3 seeds. And allocate the flask, so more heals or more magic, up to you. I'll be left with 2 grand if I level up. The only thing we can do with this is just put Mighty Shot on there, because that's the only Ash of War we've earned up to this point. And then with the shield, I would just keep it as a no skill, because you don't want to dual hand right now, especially in boss fights, because you'll forget to kind of manage your shield and all that stuff. And honestly, I don't really like the shield Ashes of War. Okay. Just want to make sure I got everything going here before I spend my runes. We got everything we want. All the merchants are found up to this point. This and that. Put a marker down here because we got to go there after this. Yes. Like I said, you don't want to neglect mind and all that stuff too much, because if we are using skills and stuff, you do want a little bit more FP. So now we got 2,000 runes. Go ahead and spend those.
Well then.
I don't have anything I want, dude.
May the gold.
You don't have to hunt anymore if you don't want to. I think we'll go pay a visit to Kale and just buy some arrows, because, yeah, this is a no-go for me. I don't need none of this stuff. Say hello to our friend.
Always.
And just go ahead and buy arrows.
Goodbye.
And I got rid of all those runes because you don't want to travel with a lot of runes in boss fights, just so you can just kind of focus on the strategy of beating a boss rather than running over to your runes every single time you die. So get in that. It's a good habit to do that. Always has been, always will be. We got regular arrows, so we're looking really nice now. Okay. And I really like using these soldiers as like playtest for my new Ashes of War to see like what kind of damage I'm really outputting with it. So we're gonna test out our glint blade. Pretty cool, right? You want to see Wild Strikes in action? Literally, you just hold down L2 and you'll keep doing it until you run out of stamina. Or out of FP. I missed a soldier somewhere. And yeah, as you can tell, it's really, really nice to have that. And then we can still apply all of our greases, so we're not without it completely. So we do want bleed at the very least here, since this guy is susceptible to bleed damage. Hopefully we can make it pop too.
What is it? Goodbye.
Peace out. Right now, we'll be ready to take on the first boss of the game. Okay, with all of Stormveil explored, you have two options now. You can summon for help if you need it in this fight, or you can summon right here for Nefeli Lu. You just want to stay away from the enemies though, because she'll run out there and you take damage before you even start the damn fight. Okay. And we're going to get into a cutscene here.
Mighty dragon, thou'rt a true-born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well, lowly tarnished, plain as a lord, I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden.
Kind of a giant AoE, so you just stay away from it.
truest of dragons. Lend me thy strength. Forefathers, one and all! Bear witness!
Fucking sick, no matter what. Alright, just run underneath this guy, right here. Yep. No! Oh, that was so close. Okay. Just get right underneath him.
I am the Lord of all that is golden, and one day we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
Great runes. The great runes you receive by defeating shard bearers have lost their beneficial power. However, their power can be restored at divine towers throughout the lands between. See the description of each great rune to discover which divine tower you should visit. That's it. Now we got the remembrance. So anyone that's familiar with the Dark Souls games, you know that you get basically what's called boss souls. This is the same instance. You can use these as a way to get runes, many runes at that, or you can do exactly what it says and take this to a finger reader in order to gain some pretty cool items. Remembrance of Godric, the grafted, hewn into the earth tree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by a finger reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of runes. A feeble man sought power through the grotesque act of grafting. One day we'll return together to our home bathed in rays of gold. Okay. Godric's Great Rune. The great rune of the shard bearer Godric, devoid of any benediction. Seek the tower of Limgrave, which stands beyond the great bridge from Stormvale. So, pretty neat battlefield. Strategies for the dragon part. Like I said, just run straight underneath him. I was actually super lucky that he didn't take me down with the slash and then the dragon chip that he did. If I was armorless, I'm sure that would have been death 100%. But we got him. One try. That's all required. He was a phenomenal test first time around for me. Like, I had to really learn, like, what am I going to do with this dude? And then later on, you know, you realize, like, oh, he wasn't really that hard at all. Like, what the hell? It's really just, like, the big slam that he does, and then the AoE explosion, the storm that he creates, and then when the dragon part comes, the fire damage is pretty obnoxious to deal with at this early stage. So, very cool cutscene, very different boss than what we're probably used to seeing out of these kinds of games. So, all around, I give Godric as an intro, you know, demigod, a outstanding 9 out of 10. To no fault of his own, he only gets a 9 out of 10 because he is the first, like, big boss of the game, and therefore they had to weaken him a little bit compared to the other shard bearers. So, you know, he gets that little bit of a knock on him. But that is Stormvale to its absolute entirety. So now you want to sit at the grace point. Level up if you see fit. Let's see, what do we... Probably more HP. Praise the idea.
What a pathetic excuse for a lord you were. Craven to the bone. Pushing me about like that. And after all that...
So this dude's got some problems.
Oh, hello there. This weasel was... Godric was always looking down on me. He got what he bloody deserved thanks to you. I tell you though, what goes around comes around. He had an ugly heart, an uglier countenance, and met the ugliest of ends, eh?
So good old gatekeeper Gostic here is now done stealing our runes forever. And he will stay here for a hot minute. So if you ever need his stuff, just come over here, grab him up. But you need him, Nefeli Lu, and Kenneth Height all to survive in order to continue that quest line. It's really strange, like what and how they all have something to do with it. Elden Ring. That's all I gotta say. Now we move on. There are no secret rooms in here, so don't listen to the messages. And you can actually approach this from a different way for like a long time ago, if you wanted to. Down here. Okay, so these items I'm about to get right now are extremely important for the ending that I need to achieve for the Platinum Trophy, and this is like the entire reason why I'm even doing this playthrough. So if I mess this up or miss any of these, it's over. Like, we're done. It ain't gonna happen, and I'll have to redo it again. The Shabriri Rape. A yellow oozing eyeball of the infirm. The surface is shriveled and inside is squishy, not unlike a large, overly ripe grape. Give it to the blind maiden to guide her to the distant light. Yep. Maiden, dear maiden, where are you? Please take my grapes. Interesting. And pop out here. Grab a new item. A crystal bud. Another crafting material. So now we are in a place called Liurnia of the Lakes. This place is really nice. Like, one of the best atmospheres in the game, and the music is obviously changed, letting us know that we have progressed into a whole new arena. So just to showcase this. So now the wolves aren't even getting one shot anymore, right? A little bit stronger of a place that we're dealing with here. Beware of the pack. Got it. And this is just a ridiculous run, so bear with it. Alright, bam. So, come down here for the beetle. Storm wall. This is a shield. So you can create the storm stuff with the shield. You could have gotten this way earlier though. I just chose not to go down here because there's no way back up. Unless I can, well, maybe, no. That'd be a death jump. Yeah. So you remember that the finger reader crony is over here. We would jump down, and then you can take this entire path, literally skip all of Castle Stormvale, and go straight for Liurnia. Now, the only issue with this is that the game is going to really let you know, like, this place is pretty powerful. You might want to go back and explore your area a little bit further, please. So like I said, Elden Ring progression, even though like you can explore whatever the hell you want to explore, it's pretty decent about telling you like, hey, this place is a little bit challenging, so try it out, but if you don't really like what's going on and you're not doing anything, then move on somewhere else. Said Liurnia is a very nice place to be at. The atmosphere, the music, you know, the view. It's so good. And there is our beautiful maiden that we need for this entire fucking ending.
Hello? Is someone there? My name is Hayata, and I'm journeying in search of the distant light. If I might be so bold as to ask, would you donate any Shabriri grapes in your possession to me? My eyesight has been weak since birth, you see. I can't tell which way I'm supposed to go next, but when I eat one of those grapes, I can feel a distant light in the back of my eyes. It will lead me to my true duty as a finger maiden.
And every time we see her, we want to give her a Shabriri grape.
Oh, many thanks to you. Now I can feel the distant light once more. You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you. You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you.
Now, sometimes she's not here, depending on how you progress the game. And I think the triggers for that is if you actually landed up in Liurnia a lot earlier, or if you did stuff in Caleb a lot earlier. So, if for whatever reason she doesn't show up here and you're searching for that Lord of Frenzied Flame ending, I would just continuously come back after beating bosses. She should be around here at some point because this is how you kick off the Lord of Frenzied Flame questline.
You are most kind. The blessing.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So now you rest here. See that she's gone. She's moved on to her next location. But Bach is here.
Good to see you, Master. Do you remember me? Bach, the demi-human. You helped me before and retrieved my sewing needle. Please, Master, allow me to serve you as your seamster. I can't make nothing from scratch, but I'm happy to make adjustments to your garments. Master, I was wondering, do you ever make adjustments to your garb yourself? I would, well, rather you let me do the job when possible, please. I don't ask anything in return, you know, and, well, I am your personal seamster after all.
So like we talked about, pretty much the altering of gear is just to take off the capes to make it a bit lighter. So if you like a piece of armor, or if you just don't want a cape,
Please do.
then that's it. Alter garments will always be in here now. They don't always need to talk to Bach. Come into the church for a sacred tear and...
You're tarnished, aren't you?
could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria. For a small donation, I'd be happy to share my knowledge. Well, bless you, bless you. You're a true saint. My name is Topes. Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries, as promised. Only, none of them are particularly great. Apologies, friend. I'm afraid my meager sorceries are no match for your generosity. Oh, right. I can tell you what I know about this place. That should help a bit. You've seen that structure to the north, towering over the water. That's the Academy of Rea Lucaria, where we study glintstone sorceries. Only its doors have been closed for quite some time now. After they declared they wouldn't interfere with the shattering, the Academy cast repelling seals on the east gate leading to the capital, and the south gate leading here. As you might have guessed, the seals are still active, making entry to the Academy impossible without a glintstone key. And so I'm stuck here. A fledgling sorcerer with little chance of acquiring a key. When they cast the seals, I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning. Why not find yourself a glintstone key? Without one, you can't pass through the Academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital. And if you find an extra glintstone key, perhaps, once you've tied up all your loose ends, and I can be very patient, would you consider donating it to me? I know it. I'm a bluntstone. Nary a hint of talent for sorcery. But still, my place is at the Academy. You've taken an apprenticeship with Selen. Well, that is something. Selen was well known. The most promising sorceress in the history of the Academy. I followed her at school. But there may as well have been an ocean between us. But Selen was expelled from the Academy, accused of unthinkable treatment of certain sorcerers, under the name of the Graven Witch. I still don't believe the accusations. The illustrious Selen would never do such things.
Alright, so Topes here has some access to new spells. If you're starting as a sorcerer, then you already have these two. The Arc is pretty cool. It's just huge, you know, widespread magic, and then the Pebble we've been using. Starlight. It's kind of useless. Just get a torch or your hand lantern and you're good to go with that stuff. Yeah, so now you can start seeing things are getting buffed up a little bit. A new scroll for the Great Glintstone Shard and Swift Glintstone Shards. So if you actually want to make a run through here to go get a better spell for yourself as a sorcerer, then that is the upgrade over the Glintstone Pebble that you would start with. Because the other scroll only offers the Phalanx and the Carrion Slicer, so just melee type of things. And we actually want to attack both sides right here first. 2 graveyards, so we can get some items. And if you're really wanting the sights from those skeletons, which I think is the best sights in the game, then those are probably the easiest farmable ones, I think. This guy's probably better fought than him. Little toughie. Use FP to generate warm continuous healing HP. So if you're running out of flask and you can take on a boss or something like that, then just throw one of those down and it will gradually heal you. Healing's actually really good for that. They'll last pretty much for a full heal. But yeah, this is like your best spot to grind out those scythes right here. It's that spot and then right down there. So before we progress further into Liurnia, we actually want to go back to the Lost Table. And then I will be right back. So we'll just sit at the table. Alright, gonna heat up some lunch. Increase this. And we want to change back our actual war here, so let's go ahead and run the little blade of justice for a while more. Wild strikes is still fine. Okay. So now the door's open, right? NPCs are going to have different dialogue with you at this point, so it is worth your time to like go do the loop and talk to everybody.
Ah, well then.
Nothing new.
May the golden... Be sure to tell she's a servant. She's been like I've lost count, honestly.
Greetings, you here for some?
Now, those other challengers failed her mark. Fine and well.
Now lay out.
Apologies for skipping through that dialogue. I forgot that he actually says something new. Most of them don't, though, sometimes, so. I want to come over here. Whoop. Now we got Rogier chilling out with us.
We meet again after all. I apologize for any offense given by my bearing, but I'm quite unable to move, you see. So, what do you need? Ah, so you've met Dee. Dee is an old friend. We found ourselves journeying together for a time, bound by our exploration of death. But our paths have since diverged, never again to cross. Though that's hardly an uncommon fate for two friends. Dee was telling me that he discovered the mark of the centipede. The centipede is an ancient symbol of the curse mark. As long as whoever finds and uses it is not nefarious by nature, then we may be able to form an alliance. If only I could speak to them in person. And if they were like you, all the better. The misshapen corpse on the Storm Veil. That is a sacred relic of the Black Knives plot, as that famed night of assassination is known. It happened during the golden age of the Erd Tree, long before the shattering of the Elden Ring. Someone stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from Malekith, the Black Blade, and on a bitter night, murdered Godwyn the Golden. That was the first recorded death of a demigod in all history, and it became the catalyst. Soon, the Elden Ring was smashed, and thus sprang forth the war known as the Shattering. I once wished to become a scholar, you see. I've spent many an hour scouring the archives for knowledge of that fateful plot. The world has grown crooked, and if you intend to put it to rights, you'd better understand what happened to make it this way. And that thing is to blame for the shape I'm in now. I urge the utmost caution. Don't disturb the corpse more than necessary. Ah, you defeated Godric and claimed yourself a great rune. Looks like we both got what we wanted out of Stormvale, didn't we? Well done, friend. Something to mark the occasion. Go on, take it. As you might have guessed, I still can't move. My fighting days are behind me. No need to be polite. I've no use for it anymore. Oh.
Okay. Rogier just dropped like a whole bunch of lore on us, right? So if you're really confused about what Elden Ring's about, then there you go. Rogier's rapier. So we got a +8 weapon right out the gate like that. Probably going to be stronger than most of the weapons you're using right now. Piercing sword of superior quality, featuring intricate ornamentation. Signature weapon of Sorcerer Rogier. High dexterity is required to wield the blade to its full potential, but mastery is sight to behold. Characterized by a flowing style, which excels in successive attacks. Glint Blade Phalanx is the skill used on this weapon. Skill used by enchanted knights who serve the Carrion royal family. Form an arch of magic glint blades overhead, which will attack foes automatically. Follow up with a strong attack to chain this skill into a lunging thrust. Very, very powerful skill right there. And you get a rapier for free. So you can kind of do whatever you want with that. Rapier weapons are really light. About the same as a sword. The only difference is that there's standard attacks and pierce attacks. So it's more of a poke though. You know, this one's like slash, the other one's poke. Now we talk to Dee.
Are you acquainted with a man named Rogier? You know, the piteous fellow hiding away on the balcony. He was a formidable spellblade in times past. Don't let his easy air deceive you. He was wise beyond his years, stout of heart and clear of mind. No more, though. You see him now, ravaged by thorns, muttering and rambling. like he's half dead already. I can't stomach to watch. Take well the lesson, friend. That's how you end up when seduced by those who live in death. When grace is sullied, it rots people from the inside. Breaks them. Did you need?
Yep, he is really not happy with that. So then now, we'll go talk to Fia.
I am pleased. Would you like now? You are so very warm. My dear, have you ever heard of Black Knife Prince? Dear Roger likes to talk of them when abed, and the ancient plot in which the first of the demigods was slain. The black knives wielded by the assassins who committed the act, along with the impressions they made, somehow hide the truth of the conspiracy. These grand affairs are hardly my forte, but dear Roger began to weep as he spoke. In truth, I've heard tell from someone else about the Black Knife Prince that fascinate dear Roger so. But it wouldn't be right to give this to him, stuck as he is in the Round Table Hole. Perhaps you could make use of it?
Okie doke. A simple map given by Fia. Clue to whereabouts of a Black Knife Print. Okay. So, little small map there, kind of figure it out, as we go through the game. But if you just generally explore everything, this stuff will make sense. But if you need to, you'll use your map, and, once we get to it, we'll kind of show what you're supposed to look at there. Get rid of that so your HP's okay.
Did you need?
Go ahead and talk to Rogier.
Oh.
Nothing new here. So we open up a brand new door, meaning you want to go through it now. And you will see the craziest looking shit.
Are you that new tarnished? You've done well. I am Enya the Finger Reader. I interpret the words of the fingers, envoys to the greater will. Look there. The fingers tremble to welcome you, Shardbearer. Let their wisdom wash over you.
Great Elden Ring, root of the Golden Order, anchor of all lands, giver of grace, wellspring of all joy. Until it was shattered, the tragic corruption of the Order has taken its toll. Across the realm, life lies in ruin, fallen to pieces. Foul curses and misery spread, unabating. But the greater will has not abandoned the realm, nor the life that inhabits it. So it is that the tarnished are guided by grace, called to act. Brave tarnished, your great rune is a handsome shard of the Elden ring. Seek another of its kind to become Elden Lord and restore the Golden Order.
Let the words of the fingers guide you. Well, I see. A remembrance of gold has found its way into your possession. Demigods and even the greater of the champions are hewn by the Earth Tree upon their end into remembrances. They are valuable indeed. These remembrances yet house the power of their former masters. And should you wish to wield that same power, well, I will lend you the strength of the fingers. Oh, do not recoil from my offer. The fingers guide us all. And you, tarnished, you are here to take, are you not?
Alright, so Finger Reader Enya went ahead and described a whole bunch of good shit right there with the two fingers. And then stuff about our remembrances that we just got. So basically boss souls, okay? With the Power of Remembrance menu, you can draw out the Power of Remembrance namesake. Each remembrance can provide one power that, once that power is claimed, the remembrance will be lost. On a caveat, though, you can get them back. The power of its namesake unlocked by the finger reader alternatively, Okay. So in this menu, you have a choice between two things. Like I said, you do get these back. How we're going to do that, though, you have to figure that out on the journey with me. So basically, none of these weapons, though, are considered legendary. I think. I don't really remember. I know that I got them all. So if you do need to, though, I would probably look up on a wiki before you do anything with these. If you use it as an item, you're going to get runes. But if any of these weapons are tied to a trophy, I would definitely look that up way before just disposing of it. I don't remember any of them being in that capacity, but you never know. So if you do want every single weapon, though, there are some souls that actually have like 3. So you'll have to kind of plan that out accordingly. Other than that, it will require New Game Plus runs in order to get every single weapon and item in the game. But here's your choice. You can have pretty much Grafted Dragon's a fist weapon. So when you two-hand it, you'll have 2 dragon hands. They spew like a fire thing around you. Not really the greatest of things, to be honest. I really wanted this weapon to be great, but it has innate fire ability. So if you want something that kind of has fire attached to it, then there you go. There's a weapon for you right here. But obviously, you see it's a strength weapon, requires dexterity and a bit of faith, and not a weapon for me. Great Axe. Godric's Great Axe is okay. I mean, it's not the best weapon in the world, but it'll get the job done for what you need. Most likely, you'll have to two-handed though at this early stage of the game, meaning you won't have a shield behind you. And then there's a unique skill called I Command Thee Kneel. Repeatedly smash the axe into the ground, unleashing 2 earth-shaking shockwaves. Follow up with an additional input to produce a third shockwave. So it does have its uses against like hordes and mobs of things, but that is so far in between, and really takes a long time to charge up for boss fights, so it's not that easy to use. But it's there.
Ah, great runes are the stuff of demigods, the children of the goddess, Queen Marika. She who is vessel of the Elden Ring. Tainted by the strength of their runes, her children warred, but none could become Elden Lord. And so grace was extended to your kind, the Tarnished. Listen, the fingers speak. The greater will has long renounced the demigods. Tarnished, show no mercy. Have their heads. Take all they have left. Indeed. But remember one thing. The demigods are each and all the direct offspring of Queen Marika. Godric the Grafted was but a distant relation, the runt of the litter. His divine blood sorely diluted. Ah, the chill tainted and so listen. The great Tarni. Indeed. The demi-Godric the runt. Now let the words of the fingers guide you.
Okay, then you can approach the 2 fingers and then touch them in order to get a new gesture. And that's pretty much it for that. So you've met with the 2 fingers now. It's time to go over here. Sir Gideon should have opened his doors for you.
You've received the wisdom of the 2 fingers, have you not? Then just as promised, I bid you welcome. As a true member of the Round Table, I am known as Gideon Ofnir. As a Tarnished who wishes to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord, I am accumulating knowledge. To be all-knowing. You now belong to a select group of fellows. As such, I ask that you remain constant. You'll be after more great runes now, eh? Then as your fellow, allow me to divulge a little knowledge. The inheritors of the great runes, the Shard Bearers. We of the Round Table know the location of 5 of them, including the one you defeated. Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. General Radahn, who fought Melania and her lot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds. Praetor Rykard, Lord of the volcano manor of Mount Gelmir. Morgoth, the Grace-Given, Veiled Monarch and Lord of Leyndell. And Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, ruler of Rhea Lucaria's Academy. You'll still be after more great runes, won't you?
So Sir Gideon will offer a bunch of information about all of the different people that we need to go hunt down. All these different demigods will be, quest progression through Elden Ring entirely. So just kind of click each one and then figure out what you need to do with them.
So, Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. Despite being the blood of Godfrey, first Elden Lord, he's a grotesque old fool grasping for power. His castle lies upon the cliff to Limgrave's northwest, but I suspect you know that well enough already. General Radahn, the famed Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars, is a ferocious warrior. He fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds to Limgrave's east. And now Caelid has been engulfed by the Scarlet Rot. Even approaching the region is no mean feat. I've heard survivors of Radahn's army are still in the wilds, staving off the rot with fire. And if it's true, I suspect Radahn is still there as well, in Caelid. Though, I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore. Praetor Rykard is the lord of the Volcano Manor on Mount Gelmir. He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors, reviled for his serpentine demeanor. The volcano, Mount Gelmir, lies in the west of the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree. It was the stage of the most appalling battle in the entirety of the Shattering. Rykard has committed the grave sin of blasphemy, marking himself as an enemy never to be forgiven. The Academy of Rea Lucaria lies to Limgrave's north, towering over the mist-laden lands of Liurnia. Renala is queen of the Carian royals, who govern the Academy, but Renala herself is no demigod. Her beloved Radagon of King Consort. The Great Rune dwells within the Amber Egg that was Radagon's gift to her. Well, what's it?
That's pretty much it for that guy, for now. Well, how long is it? Depends on what you want to get out of the game, but I mean, you can go for probably about a 40 to 60 hour run just from start A to start, to end the game. But the run that we're doing here is for, because I played the game twice already on PlayStation and got the 2 endings that I needed. Now I'm on the final one for the Platinum Trophy. The game, though, can run, if you're doing base game alone, about 200 hours plus to do every single thing in the game. That's all dungeons, all side challenges, and everything like that. So, yeah, just about 200 hours long.
You again. I thought you'd receive a summons to the Round Table. Nefeli Lu, we met at Stormvale. I'm glad to see you here. I have something for you. I found it in Godric's grafting grounds. You defeated him. You should have it. Make good use of it. I don't intend to make a habit of scavenging corpses.
Arsenal Charm, pretty much Havel's Ring. I mean, I do enjoy the trophies and stuff like that, but I do like to play games to their completion as much as I can. So I'll do that. Pretty big JRPG guy, RPGs in general. But yeah, if there's a challenge to be had at getting every single thing out of the game, then that's what I want to do, and that's how I've always kind of completionist in a way. An Iron Charm that resembles a massive weaponry, boosts maximum equip load. This talisman was derived from an unusual greatsword once wielded by a hero hungry for vengeance. So as it says, it'll raise your equip load, boosting that thing up so you can put on some beefier armor or wield even more weapons. Havel's Ring, essentially, from Dark Souls.
Ah, yes. I wonder if you've met my foster father. He's in his study. The room Encher's guarding just over there. If you haven't already, I advise you introduce yourself. Father is leader of the Round Table. I'm sure talking to him will be worth your while. It's about time I headed off. I'll see you again, warrior, should the fates deign it. It's about time I'll see you again.
And I'll be right back. Gotta grab my lunch.
Well, I understand you've been speaking to Nefeli. She's my daughter. I took her in when she lost the guidance of grace. Though a mere axe-wielding barbarian, her youthful credulity suited my purposes. So I put her to work. Do not hesitate to employ her. Should her services benefit you, Despite her looks, she is more than capable in the press of battle.
It's about time. I'll see you again, Warren.
Okay. I'm just clearing up all the NPC conversations after defeating Godric now. Spoke to the Two Fingers and Enya. If you need to do any other upgrades, then go ahead and do that now. And then we are going to continue on to a different part of the game. Let's see. I want to sit here and make sure we have nothing new for this guy.
Always good to know.
All right. And then with the whole of basically all of Limgrave complete now at this point, and we are done with Castle Stormvale. We have two remaining, well, I think 3 remaining places that we need to explore in order to truly complete Limgrave. That'll be the bottom of the well here that we still have to do. This stranded graveyard that we've seen since the beginning of the game. And then this little location right here so we can actually activate that grave rune that we just got. And we're going to start right here. Take off the marker. Signify that we are on our way up here now. Another damage negation talisman. This is for lightning damage negation. So we should have, I think, pretty much all of the resistances here. Magic, fire, lightning, and holy. Yep. Alright, this run can be pretty difficult. They're going to wake up these golems. And we actually want to, like, get the one with the arrow back there to shoot at its little counterparts over here. Go. Try to get to it as quickly as you can. Okay, well, he's going kind of nuts. We want to run past him now. Just kind of keep him in your view. As long as you can get one down, it's a little bit easier to run towards this guy. Use the pillars as kind of a block. It'll take a while to kind of draw his bow there. Back away from him when he does that. There you go. Now you're not getting pelted anymore. Now we can take on the other giant. So the most annoying and most painful thing about that whole section is like you have a horse and they won't let you use the horse. I don't quite understand. But that's the method we chose, so, you know. It's a pretty big field, though. You know, you think the horse would make more sense to kind of just run through all that stuff while you're getting pelted with arrows and whatnot. But they wanted it to be a little bit of a mini challenge to earn your great rune. That was already a challenge in itself to earn. Now you just kind of look down here, get some items. Pick yourself back up. Same deal down this way. The Ash of War Scarab. And more time. Slightly reduce FP cost of skills, but increase damage taken. So if you're really in love with your Ash of War skills and they cost too much FP because you're not putting points into mind, then there you go. But the scarabs suck. I would not put them on your head unless you're trying to do like a self-imposed challenge run. Completely up to you. Then we'll use the sending gate and transport ourselves to the other side. And then we could turn around. There's some items to be had this way. Just want to be careful, don't die to these birds, because it will happen. Just got stuck in the wall. Yeah, but I mean, if you find a Stormfeather Hawk to be that important to come down here and chase it all the way, then go ahead. Quadruple 8 runes, that's amazing. Most of the time you never see stuff like that, so. And we'll ride this all the way to the top. It's kind of a bit of a long ride, so we'll just chill out. All right. And this will be how we activate the runes. A great rune of the Shard Bearer Godric. Its blessing raises all attributes. This great stone is known for the anchor, as known as the Anchor Ring, found in the center of the Elden Ring. The first demigods were the Elden Lord Godfrey and his offspring, the Golden Lineage. Okay, and then how you actually use that. I'll show that. But that's it for that power. Now we want to go, before we take on more of Liurnia, we want to go to the bottom now and take on the Siofra River well. As I said before, I gush over this location. It's just incredible. Alright, so equipping Great Runes, you'll come down here to where it says Great Runes now. With the Great Rune menu, you can equip Great Runes that have had their power restored. You can use a Rune Arc to give even greater benefits to your equipped Great Runes. So, Godrich raises all attributes. You have to make sure that it shows up on the top left of your health bar, stamina bar, and everything else. That is your rune selection. And then how you actually activate it is by using Rune Arcs. These guys right here. So that is a consumable item. Few are found out in the world, but they're mostly gathered by invasion success, helping out a host of the world and defeating a boss, warding off invasions. Like, there's a lot of different ways to do this, so. But the only other way you're going to find them, if you're not interested in that stuff, is rats and world exploration. So pretty much what that rune just did was increase every single one of our attributes by +5. So the effect is only active once per life. So that's why rune arcs are very like hard to gather, and it's also very hard to keep. Because the more you die, you want to reactivate your rune, you have to keep using one. So, you know, they brought back that system of like basically your humanity things and your effigies, stuff like that. So don't be too liberal with the way you're using them. They should only be used in like a situation where you know you're going to have high survivability, and not just repeated uses to continuously lose a rune arc each time. But now I have everything as a +5. So if you look at it, that's like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, 8 times 5, 40 free levels right there. That's kind of crazy. So indeed, a very powerful rune. And it will actually allow you to use like weapons and shields that you normally couldn't equip because you were probably missing a few stat points. But now, you're good to go. For at least most of it. So if that's going to be your primary rune you use for the entire game, then plan around it. Go get some rune arcs, and then you can put whatever you need to in your inventory. Behaves like oil. Okay, crafting material. The underworld will have new stuff. Soaked in arcane dew, it gives off a faint glow of starlight. Very cool. The underground is treated much like the open world above, so you still get like groups of enemies as a reward, you know, for replenishing your flask and all that. The mud dudes, like, oh, they're called claymen, but the claymen drop a really good magic spear that is actually pretty powerful once you level all the way up. You can take that thing to endgame with you, so if you're into magic spears, then there you go. A little bit of like a jump puzzle type thing there. Those are like the mage versions of those dudes. Nothing down here. Even though they should have put like something down there. I just kind of want to watch it drop here. Walk off the edge. Okay. Most important thing to grab is going to be the thing on top of that dude so you don't have to do this again. But if you can, kind of take down the beetle. There you go. If not, the bubble or the beetle will he'll just fall down and you can just chase him and kill him after that. But you get new sorcery, produces several small magic bubbles that drift towards foes, so you just saw what they did. Before they naturally pop, charging increases the delay before the bubbles pop. Claim in, search for lost oracles within their bubbles. Not an overly useful spell. I don't think I've ever dabbled into anything of the oracle spells. I thought we got them all. I don't know where I might have missed one, but I didn't get a recharge yet. That's why we saved the beetle. those ones alleviate Scarlet Rot. Really, really good to have. Almost going to be kind of mandatory at some point. Okay, what is the point of this place, right? So, the underground is a whole nother section of Elden Ring. As I said before, it is completely optional. You don't have to do anything with it if you don't want to. But it houses some of the coolest stuff, I think, in the game. Probably one of the most beautiful locations in the game. So, just take some time down here and photo mode yourself away if you want. Actually, I don't even think Elden Ring has a photo mode. You gotta like take pictures with your phone and shit. Alright, so objectives of what we're supposed to do here is just explore as natural. You're going to find a couple bosses inside of this place. And a little bit of a secret stuff. For now, we need to find these torches and light the braziers, basically. So every single one of those that you see right there will light up as we find corresponding stone. They will never die out, so all you have to do is just run around the map, find them all, and then over time, we'll find all 8, and then we need to go up there and fight the boss. First things first, run over here and grab the map. And yep, like I said, the underground, it's this whole different thing. The blue glowy guys are enemies, so they're like keepers of the forest. They are a bit tough. As you can tell. But the cool thing is, like I said, they treat this as an open world environment, so you'll get flashback for killing groups of enemies. Now we can learn how to make preserving boluses. It's probably one of the hardest things to build in Elden Ring because one of those items is like literally what it says, extremely rare to find. Because the specific plant that you need for the item does not regrow like everything else. So you only have a finite amount of those things. These guys are a great source of magic arrows. I think they're called like spirit dwelling arrows. So it'll kind of be your first taste of magic stuff. That little forearm block is always what kind of gets you. Because they'll forearm block you and then they'll like kind of smack you away, setting you up for another axe attack. So yeah, those dudes can be kind of painful to deal with. Just keep on finding flames and lighting them up. That's all you do down here. You get a pretty good shield right here. Medium shield. Get handles about the same as you. Pretty good weapon right here, the horn bow. Longbow made from animal horn, wielded by the master hunters of Astral and followers. Imbues arrows fired with magic damage. Reveals its true worth when used with magic infused arrows. So basically what it's saying is that it'll do even more damage if you use magic arrows with this. And right now I meet the requirements to use it because my intelligence is upgraded by 5. But if I was to die, it'd be 14 minus 5, putting me back down to 9, meaning I won't be able to. So you don't want to make religious use of it. But if you really like the weapon, and you think it's better than the bows that you have currently, then just upgrade yourself to that point. And then you can use it full time. First instance of a glove ward 3. I don't think this led to anything. Right? Yeah, no, this one's not anything. Honestly, I don't think this is safe to do this. Yeah, that was a really tough jump, so I would recommend what you just saw against it. Shit. Okay, let's just not die to that because gravity deaths are annoying. Those electro balls, if you get hit while you're standing in the water with those things, they will do increased damage because water and electricity, right? So you want to pop. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to deal with those things, so just kind of make them go crazy. That's it. Remember the points of the ascending gates, because you want to check them all. So just put a marker down. Go ahead and deal with this crab. The last thing you want to do is just run into these things, and then they have a bad day with you. Ooh, thank you, Torrent. A good hit for me. You got me good. I'll give him that one. He got me good on that one. Annoying section right here. You just kind of want to, plans. You do want to take him out for a reason, so try not to die after this point. Otherwise, you have to kill those flowers again, and they're annoying. Just kind of weave in and out here. Watch out for the electroballs. Especially the dudes. there was anything up here. You do want to be careful on your way down. Take some fall damage. Oh, no. Really just gotta get rid of him. Fucking problematic. There we go. First instance of shield grease, so you can slather your shield up with some defensive magic. So gaining more resistances and stuff like that. Do really want to be careful though about the certain types of archers this game has. Oh boy. Oh no. That could have been bad. The ones that like shoot like these blue arrows at you, they are very accurate and super annoying. Generally around this area is where they start showing up, so just be careful. just really watch this forest. This is where things can get kind of... Another instance of Ascending Gate that we're going to want to remember where that's located. So just kind of like a little bit around it. There we go. Just careful for the drops. Some of them are painful. Pretty massive place, so twists and turns galore. I want to piss these things off. Oh shit, oh shit. Got their axe. Axe made of herbivore's skull. Weapon of ancestral followers who disdain metal. The axe is more of a bludgeon. It foregoes a bladed edge, instead using the beast molar teeth to buffet foes. That's kind of weird. Dealing strike damage. Yep. So another axe. Definitely a rarer one, though. Those guys don't really drop that too often, unless you're like specifically trying to farm it. But I don't know the scaling of them. Strength weapon. Okay. It's like more axes. Yeah, more axes are tailored to the strength part of it all. You get another summoning pool here, and another grace check-in. I don't want to split the crabs here, and then I had a feeling one was here like that. Glad I checked. It's almost impossible to get, like, most of their weapons in one run of this place. That's actually really cool. Great horn hammer, huge thick horn carved with tree ring-like markings adapted into a bludgeoning weapon wielded by ancestral fallen warriors. The ancient horn is imbued with the power of ancestral spirits. A small amount of HP is restored upon defeating an enemy, so there you go. So if you want to make use of another great hammer that has a passive ability to take HP of those defeated, then add that to your build style. I don't think I've ever had that one before, now that I think about it. That's amazing. Well, watch out for this guy. Guess you ain't about that life, okay? More smithing stones for some more power. He's gonna turn around. I knew it.
A customer.
Dude's just sitting away in here. So yeah, you want to make sure that you have enough runes for this thing. He sells some pretty interesting stuff. I mean, I would buy the whole plot of it if you could. If you really want to, though. But mostly the Stone Sword keys, of course, the larval tier. Warrior's Cookbook 17 gives us access to soap, oil pot, and roped oil pot. Pretty much oil pots, you know, I think about oil urns from Bloodborne. Just slap it on something and then hit it with fire and you have, like, increased damage. This one gives us dappled cured meat and dappled white cured meat. And then you can get a curved sword. Only place to find this thing is the shoulder. So old, reliable for our dexterity builds back to Dark Souls. This will, like it says right there, it attacks can slip through an enemy's guard. So even if an enemy's shielded up, you will like do major damage behind him. So the shields are pretty much useless against this thing. I think it just has low physical attack. Yeah, so that's the thing about it is that it has low physical, but I mean it will just continuously slice at things. Then, of course, your bolts, your arrows, he sells these. Very expensive, and he only has a few of them. So I wouldn't bother with it too much unless you really, really want them, but you could just farm those things we've been fighting in order to get it.
Goodbye till next.
Yep. Very expensive merchant, but he was well worth it. Had a lot of good stuff there. And that's the reason why we killed these flowers right here, is because sometimes I've aggroed this thing right here, and it shot those stupid pillars of light in there one time and actually killed the dude. So that was pretty shit. But on that offhand, if you accidentally have a merchant killed, or you kill them yourself, you can get their bell bearing and take it to the Maiden Husk, and they will basically have the inventory that that merchant would have had for you available for the entire game. Sometimes in like New Game Plus runs, or just like runs where you don't even give a shit, people just do it anyway, just so they don't have to run back and forth to all these locations, and then you just have to go to the Round Table Hole. which is a method. Is it a moral method? Probably not. Okay, just keep on keeping on. See, these guys are distracted. Get you a free beetle. Yeah, square off. So we've started out with square off. We already know what that is. Here's another sending gate. This one will just transport you back to the beginning, but I'll set a marker for each one so you can see what they do. Damn. Okay. Uh-oh. That is so bad. We got the dudes chasing us. Jeez, what a wind up, huh? Can you chill out, my brother? Two axes, that's a big. Okay, I'm gonna put a marker down here because we definitely need to go up to this place as well. Heavily rat infested area, so annoying. Power gathered somewhere in horned remains. So we found all of the braziers that we needed, and now that's going to unlock the boss fight for the zone. But there's a couple of boss fights in the zone, so you want to keep on exploring before you commit. Get a free golden seed. Now we have 2. Still need 1 more to get another flask for ourselves. And then just to harken back to, like, you know, the whole of Limgrave and everything, if you do all the exploration like we did, you know, you go to the bottom half of Limgrave and, you know, you put a little time in exploration into, like, Caelid, at least from where Urank is and stuff like that, you're going to net those golden seeds. And then, you know, give yourself a lot more flasks to deal with and work on while you're fighting Godric. So it's never a bad thing to have more ways to heal your FP or MP, or your HP. As I remember, I didn't do any of that. I went straight for Stormveil, kind of did stuff in between it. Went up to the Godric fight, and I think I only had, like, what, 2 upgrades worth? Maybe 2 upgrades worth of seeds, because you get 1 for the tree that you go up towards the shack. I didn't really do anything with Roderica till later. And then the 1 inside of his castle. So yeah, I only had 2. And then for my starting gift, I didn't even pick a gold seed or anything like that. I forgot what I picked, actually, so I think I picked the medallion, HP medallion. And that is going to be the whole of the first part of Sea for River Depths that we can explore. So we'll go ahead and just show this sending gate real quick and what it does. It's right here. Now, when you use a sending gate, though, it acts like a fast travel, so everything's going to replenish now. So keep that in mind. And then you see it took me to the other sending gate over here. So there's 2 of them. But we'll go ahead and enter the boss remains real quick, just to get that over with. No, I actually don't think I explored something. There's something on this, I swear. It's gonna drive me a little nuts if I don't get it down. Yeah, right there. I knew I missed something. It's because I jumped around. Excuse me. Ooh, dude. Maybe there was a way down there. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I was just unconfident. I kind of forgot about this part. I didn't want to go dive bombing off the edge. I think just kind of fall. It's nothing really big here, but, you know, more stuff. Use that boost pad. Nothing really big around here, so I wouldn't really worry about it. Just lighting all the braziers allowed this ancient horn remains to be revived, so now we gotta go in there and naturally take down the boss. I think it's one of the coolest bosses, you know, to be honest. A little bit difficult for melee builds though, because you have to like really get in there. Take it. Little bit tougher of a fight because obviously melee, we got to get in close. He's going to do all that, but achievable. I think he took extra damage from the holy stuff. I'm not really sure what its true weakness is, but I'm going to go with it's undead, so it probably is. All of that for these guys. Spirit of Horn folk who eschew letters and metalworking brawny and versed in distinctive spiritual arts. This particular tribesman wields a heavy bow. So if you need a support character that can bow enemies down from a distance while you go in and up close personal them, that is a decent upgrade over definitely the noble wanderer sorcerer dude. Okay. Now I would suggest spending the runes. because this boss can be a little antagonizing. I need about 1,200. Perfect. Just keep buffing that HP, then we'll start focusing on attack. Just want to have survivable HP for a good portion of the game. Okay, now we'll take this ending gate. Yep, little back and forth game between those two portals. So how much importance is that to you? Probably not. We'll just go ahead and go here since it's closer. Just watch out for the zappy boys. I love doing that shit. You'll just have to make it around the snipers. Yeah, that sucks. But this ending gate is cool. Took us to the upper portion of the world. Some new item. Found near Ansel River and other places where giant ants live. Giant ants, huh? I wonder what it could mean. That could hurt. Yeah, that did hurt. Well, while we're wandering around, I'll put that on so before. You know what? Don't have to do none of that. We got beetles. In here can be a little dangerous, so just kind of run after dude. Oh, hate when he does this. Go. Now we got the ocular bubble. Somber 5, so your special weapon can become even stronger. Don't want to get caught too much in that shit because they can actually kill you pretty quickly. I just want to see if one of these guys will drop a spear, but apparently we're not lucky. There's a huge reason why they gave us that. Dragon Grease Wound, or Dragon Wound Grease. It's great for, obviously, taking down dragons, or dragon-like things. Did we get it? Let's not find out the hard way. I'm actually a little stunned that they did not drop the spear not one time. Usually I never mess with those guys, but the ones I do, like, usually pop spear pretty instantaneously, actually. I'm not sure if that got changed with the updates then. Crazy. But I mean, you saw that. I entered the place with like 40 something runes, and now I'm up to 9,000. So if you really want to, you farm the shit out of those groups and get a bunch of runes at once. I mean, I guess it's okay-ish for early game rune farming, but you don't really need to do it. Game's not that bad, so. Unless you're like specifically needing an item or like at least one level or something like that, then I would say, yeah, go ahead, but farming is for runes. For weapons and armor, yeah, go ahead, do that all day, but for runes, there's just natural ways to do it, honestly. Okay, so the summon sign's up. There's obviously something big over there. You can guess what's about to happen. Now, this dude is really tough. I'm talking pretty tough. Like, it's just the way he hits you, which makes it hard. You have a Stake America here, so bleed, fire, anything. He doesn't have any resistances that I know of, but Dragon Wound is definitely the best stuff to use on it. Only if you feel confident enough to do that. I wouldn't use Dragon Grease because you have no way to create it naturally. just yet because we haven't found, you know, the other crap. Script stone reveals more messages. But I would only use the greases that you can naturally make. So your fire, your poison, and your bleed are the best candidates. And for this guy, I would probably do bleed since he's gonna have a high HP pool. You want to just chunk that bleed damage as much as you can. You can fight this thing on horseback or on foot. I find it easier for myself to fight them on foot because when you fight the other ones, you're going to have to fight them on foot. And yeah, there are more than... God, I hate that move so much. That'll be your best attack to get. Wow, dude. What the hell? Well, I'm glad I'm getting this on fucking video. Wow. Okay. fight him in order to win a dragon halberd. Very sexy looking weapon. Halberd shaped like dragon and wreath with both ice and lightning. Very cool. Alas, the dragonkin soldiers never attained immortality and perished as decrepit, pale imitations of their skyborn kin. Yep. A lot of lore here in this game, isn't there? Now, what's kind of disappointing a bit about this is that it says that it's enwreathed in both ice and lightning. You would think that that would indicate that it's going to do frost and lightning damage together. It's not that cool, unfortunately. It's just as basic as it gets. So it's a halberd that looks like this. That's it. Spinning slash is its art of skill, but that's nothing. Nothing to write home about. Go ahead and take that. Very important item to have here. America's Scar Seal. Jesus. This one is the opposite effect of Radigan's. So you can see Mind, Intelligence, Faith, and Arcane all get upgraded by 3. So not really tailored for this build, but in my other one I'm wearing the Americas because Faith, you know, Intelligence, stuff like that. Gets a bigger upgrade for it. And if you're just playing with an all-around, well-rounded character, then, I mean, put them all up. That's a Ghost 5. Kind of tucked away in the corner here. Usually always missed. But if you have all 5 of those, which 4 is the only one missing, you could have a potential +5 renowned Ash. So halfway to 10, which would be great for a good start to the game. Yeah, so I don't know what's up with his leg there, but apparently it got invincibility frames. I've never seen that, and that's kind of making me worried about the future fights with those things, because I'm going to have to change up my strategy now and aim for the left more. If it's only that guy, then I'm okay, but if it's the other ones, then yeah, we're in trouble. Because they only get more fiercer after this. So a nice little subsection here with Searfer River, Well Depths. There's your Ghost 4. So yeah. Sometimes I don't remember what they all are, but yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now, if you really have fallen in love with a Ash like Luthul the Headless or something like that, you can now plus that sucker up to +5, and that would be a very, very good spirit to take along with you for a lot of different things. I think in my last run, I only had like a spirit +7, so you could beat the game with anything. I mean, you could do it with nothing if you really wanted to. Okay. And then that only leaves one last place to check. Okay, so if we actually had taken the dive to go to Searfer Well a lot earlier in the game, we would have been faced with this little guy right here. So this platform's not going to move until we insert a sword stone key, and we need 2 of them. Obviously, barely recommend against that early game because we didn't have a lot of them to begin with. And we still kind of don't. And 13's not quite a lot. So now, it'll work. And I didn't come down here because this would transport us to another area of the game, losing the ability to go to the round table hold in the more natural way for probably new players who are going to join in the game and do it by the way it's supposed to be done. Okay. We have entered Caelid from a different route. Obviously, we've been here enough times already, right? So we've seen Seafer River Well. We've been to the Celia Crystal Tunnel because of the transport from the over here. And then we had this from another, when we ran out of the Crystal Tunnel, I ran over here to grab a few items, and that was it. But we've been to the Farum Great Bridge. We've met Garank, the Beast Clergyman, because of D. So we've already kind of taken a few steps into Caelid as is. But this place is absolutely wild and really not recommended for the level that we're at currently, and especially the weapons we hold right now. It just won't get the job done. But if you really want to test yourself, you've seen the rune bears. That's a rune bear over there that's been rotted. Just go fight that thing and then tell me how well you did. And if you did really good, then you're ready to take on Caelid. Traveling through here, you're going to be met with golems that shoot at you. So this place sucks. Yep. They shoot magic bullets at you, which is even worse. There is something up there, though, that we are going to do, but right now it's just going to be too painful to try. It's really recommended you're a higher level for this area. But, I mean, you could do it. There's really nothing saying you can't, just not recommend. Okay. Now I want to craft what I just did. So I lost 1 blood grease, and I lost a fire grease. There we go. Just want to plus up what I did. Make sure I'm not forgetting nothing here. Okay. Yep, so Seafer River, that first area of Seafer River is now good. I would definitely buy everything from the merchant as much as you want from him, but get those 3 stone sword keys out the gate. It's probably the best thing you can get from him. And the couple of cookbooks and stuff that he has to offer for you. Then once that's complete, just go back to the round table.
Always good, son.
Oh, your divinity, have mercy and grant me forgiveness. The road is yet long, but God is not easily felled. But one day, without fail, you will have your wish. So please grant me forgiveness, Queen Marika. You, is it? I didn't notice you there. I'll be doing my job, same as ever. Just lay out your arms. As well, I may be prisoner to you, tarnished lot, and my prayers are mine, and mine alone. Well, I've had my say. I'll be more careful too.
Well, that's unfortunate. I thought I had one more stone that I needed, but nope. No upgrades for you.
Always good, son.
Nothing new to say around here. Okay. Okay. So we got our great rune. We went to the Seafer River. Explored bottom half of this, took on Morn, did all of Limgrave stuff. Only thing we got left is the Stranded Graveyard little side dungeon. And then we pushed through Liurnia. So yeah. Though the side dungeon isn't really like anything spectacular. You just get an ash, a few, like, I think another seal, something else. So it's not too bad of a place, but yeah, it's not something I really want to do right now. And the final boss for the area, too, is kind of HP buffed. Kind of let you know, like, and you probably shouldn't be here right now. Let's yeah, so we're done with all of that. That's good. I'm happy with the progression. Go ahead and head back to the lake facing cliff. Finally make our way through. Alright, so these are Rhea Lucaria soldiers. They are a step above the Godric soldiers, but not too much, as you can tell. Foot soldier helmet and a short sword. So the Glintstone Craftsman's Cookbook, we can now create cuckoo glintstones. A record of craft techniques left by Glintstone craftsmen who served the Academy contains information on Fa sorceries, such as they were called. The Cuckoo. Or Cuckoo. Cuckoo Knights. And then the cuckoo things are right here. So you need cracked crystal. If I spammed around where I was taken earlier in that one place, I would have had this already, but yeah. And then it's just, it produces a magic bolt. That's all these things do. We've seen them before. This is what these guys throw at us. They throw ones that have like multiple hits to it. So I think they did a pretty cool job at, like, yeah, they had to reskin a few enemies because I get it, you know, like you want one enemy that kind of, you don't have to play too much with the AI. Just tweak things here and there. but all the soldier enemies have different styles of fighting, and now you can kind of tell, like, Godric's area was like straight up beginner level. You know, we just had dudes with swords and shields and spears, you know, and your classic medieval stuff. And then here, now we're playing with magic. So resistances are getting a little bit to the point where you're not going to be able to hide behind a shield and block every damage. You're going to have to actually learn how to dodge roll and, you know, play more aggressively. Because defensively with magic, they'll just chip damage you and, you know, can outright kill you if you're not careful. Then we run up on a merchant.
You're surprised you found me in my little nook. No matter, no matter. Your money's as good as anyone else's. Why don't you take a look at my wares? Oh, but don't ask me how I got my hands on them, eh?
So, original Elden Ring, before all the patches, when it first came out, the hand lantern was only available here for the first time. Now it's available at the other shack down in southern Limgrave from the other merchant down there, along with the smithing stones. But yeah, naturally you would find it here first. So we know what the lantern is. Buy the stones. Cookbook here allows us to create crystal darts, spell-proof dry deliver, and shatter shard arrows. So magic stuff finally. There's my weapon that I need for my third. My third slot will contain the S-Stock. It's a dex weapon, but we're going to turn it into a quality, and then it's going to cover pretty much whatever I want it to cover. Ideally, I do want it to be at least frostbitten so I can get some of that going, but we'll see. You get your astrologer set here, if you want to be an astrologer now. Arrows, a kite shield, you know what these are. And that's it. So, happy tidings to that. We now have the S-Stock. And now I got 3 weapons to play. S-Stock as fast as it is, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 pokes for the ultimate power through. Double R2 for 2 slashes. Backstep, poke. Backstep, think. So, fancy play, right? So just stab, 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 and super stab. Impaling thrust is its skill. Love the S-Stock. Really do. It's such a great weapon. The only issue with this now is that it's probably going to fall behind all these, seeing that I am more sword heavy. And, you know, the S-Stock, like I said, this is going to be more for coverages of status ailments that I want to apply instead of just like straight up sword. And, you know, because the sword is good for greasing and everything. But this weapon I actually want it to be like applying status effects, because that's what it's meant for. And a fantastic way to do that is to give the S-Stock the repeating thrust. We want to make it a quality. You can see that it's going to lose out on its scaling there. So it's not really a weapon that's meant to be like this, but that's where our stats are poured into. Not really keen. So keep it there. See if we want to do anything else here with this stuff. Let's see. Repeat dust, square off, Stormcaller, Storm Stomp. Phalanx ain't too bad. It's really, really good, actually. Yeah. But a bleeding S-Stock as well. That would make more sense for now. But we have to make it and it would lose out on a lot of stuff there. Okay, S-Stock, as far as it's concerned, is probably put in the back seat for now. Merchant found. Only natural that we go get the map. Once I get the map, that'll probably be it for a little bit. So I got to go and do an appointment. These dudes are fucking annoying. Just go ahead and grab that. Go backwards. It's creepily hanging out in the little swamp here. Crazy, right? And the first part of Eternia. So we got a new massive map to go ahead and track through. Coming back, we'll go ahead and explore down all these paths. Kind of want to do like a little circle. Up and around, check the edges. Remembering that we have to do the Lord of Frenzied Flame quest line. This is where you make the most progression towards that. So I absolutely have to be perfect at doing it. Otherwise, things get kind of stupid. Liurnia, I think, it's pretty big. The whole game, every area is really big to explore. This place, I think, has the most grace points, though, for, like, exploration. I think. It might be, if you consider the whole Limgrave, maybe more than that. Kaled is pretty small side optional area other than the main boss, but yeah. Liurnia will take like another 30-ish hours to do full, all of it. So it took about 21 hours just now to get to the point of where we're actually ready to explore all of Liurnia. And that's with doing everything you could do here except for the Stranded Graveyard, which will be back one day. And then a little bit into Caelid, not too much. I didn't really do anything here yet. So we're well on the way. That was fun. We took down Stormveil, and Godric the Grafted is now gone. So we're making huge progression, and then this is where the game only gets better, because now we're going to see more increasing challenges as we go through and take on the Liurnia map. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next part.